Hey everybody, welcome to Jet Live. I'm here with David Gellman. It's it's wonderful to be back again. We got a full week this week, and David, it's so wonderful for you joining us. Shlomit is like the biggest fan. You can see the comments on the right on the left, your stage right, whatever.
Maybe. Not sure where to be looking.
I've been doing this as the host, so I don't know what the guest sees on the other side of StreamYard.
Okay, yeah.
But Mati was looking at them yesterday. Anyways, it's great to have you here, and we'll get right to it. So, how are things going by you and your family?
Well, things are a bit weird, but we've gotten used to the new normal. Yedida's not at work at the moment. She was home with the kids up till now, and I was trying to get back into their regular go-up. And I've been working pretty much most of the time. Not a job that you can do from home. Yeah.
How is that working from home? Has it been creative?
No, I haven't been working from home. You can't really do that from home. You have to be out in the field.
Okay, right. That's true. Wow. Was it so? It wasn't really different for you, the work aspect.
Other than wearing a mask and boiling heat outdoors, it's not really been any different.
Which we're all doing now. It'd be for us.
Yeah, exactly.
It's really difficult. I must say, I was out in the heat today with a mask, and whoa. So you've been involved in the community for, I think, since when? Why don't you tell me?
Since 2011, so 9 years.
Great, amazing. That's basically so. West Side Story was your first show?
Well, yes and no. My almost first show was Les Mis de Betty Did.
Oh, right.
You might recall the fiasco that anyone over 20 had to be kicked out of the show halfway through the rehearsal process, and that included me.
Yeah, Michael brought it. Michael brought that up recently. Yeah, that was actually right then. West Side Story auditions were like right around that time. So you started.
That's why I auditioned, actually. I didn't really know much of musical theater in general. I knew like 3 shows. Les Mis is one of them, and I was in it. And then when Michael gave us the bad news that everyone who was older than 20 had to leave, we went to karaoke or something to celebrate being bummed out. And Eleanor asked me to come audition for West Side Story since I was kind of depressed. I said, okay, fine, I'll do it. And I've been hooked ever since.
Awesome. That's great. It's a great show to start with. I was in HMS Pinafore like right before that, but like that was basically also my jump into theater that year. The theater community here. Then I left and came back, and when I left, you did like 4 or 5 shows. I mean, I think I was gone for 3 years, and you just were like in every single show. Whenever I heard about it, like Hairspray, Little Shop, and Rent.
I couldn't stop it. It's addictive.
Yeah, it is. It's a beautiful thing to be on the stage and to do all this.
The stage is, at least in my the way I experience it, the stage is, it's a perk. It's a minor thing. It's the social experience of the whole rehearsal process of doing such strange, intensive things with the same people day after day for months. You really get to become a part of the community, and that's what I like about this, not the actual performance.
Wow. You really express what this community is about. Just that, like the whole entire experience, really. I always say the process that we have
exactly.
is what really is amazing about what we do. And I feel like now we have a process that we can do. We could do Jet Live, we could stream, we could have rehearsals online. There's still a process of theater that we as a community, it's possible for us to do. And the stage will be waiting. It is waiting. But not necessarily. We're not necessarily there right now. But that's awesome. Wow, I love that way you think about it. That's amazing. What made you? Shlomit just comes up with the greatest questions. I'm going to do this little trick again. This is her question.
What made you decide to audition to do Les Mis? Did I do theater before? No, I hadn't done any theater at all before. Les Mis was basically one of 3 shows that I'd known. Probably the first musical I ever knew in my life from like age 4 or whatever. And I'd already known it by heart. And my sister saw a flyer or something like that for an audition. She said, "Hey, David, let's go audition together." So I said, "Yeah, sure, why not?" I wasn't expecting to join something so big and life changing.
Oh, it's definitely changed your life. I feel like you're so involved in theater here in the community. You've taken on a role that it doesn't. There's not that many people that are doing that, which is the translation. Like just being able to do that, to really what our community is about is what you said, the process, but also connecting different people from society and bringing them together. So your translating is doing exactly that, because it's bringing the population, the Hebrew speakers, into the space to be able to see the shows and be able to take part in that. And that's life changing for other people. I'm sure there's a bunch of people who have come to see shows, Israelis that have come to see shows that don't really know the show or aren't really sure what the show is about, and then they have those subtitles, the surtitles, as we call them, to help them out. I just you said Les Mis when you were 4, so did you see it?
I don't remember exactly when, but yeah.
Did you see it, or
no.
I mean, did you see it, or you just?
No, I hadn't seen it. It's just a soundtrack. I saw it actually in Beit Hillel, like a few years after I made Aliyah, maybe 2 or 3 years after I made Aliyah. I was in the audience along with my parents, maybe just my mother, I don't remember. It was a very interesting show. There was a power out in the entire building in the middle of the show, and they had to cancel it. And we all got to come back a few nights later to watch it again. It was really fun. But I didn't really have any experience with actual live theater. You know, a thing that I went to see once every few years, not much more than that. I saw Wicked on Broadway also before I joined the community theater. But that was it.
But so your first show here was in Beit Hillel?
My first show here was Beit Hillel. First show that I performed in, actually got to be on stage, was with Encore in West Side Story.
Wow. Well, I had Michael Burl on a few nights ago, and I can't believe we've gotten to this many guests on Jet Live, and I'm always excited for the next person that jumps in. But like, we were talking about the history, and that's so cool. And we're talking about, like, we mentioned it also, like with Starcatcher, how kids, how really it's. How old were you when you saw that? How old were you when you made Aliyah?
I made Aliyah when I was 12. I saw it. I don't remember exactly when it was, but I guess I was 14 or 15 or something like that.
Well, there we go. The young age, you go and you see the show at Beit Hillel, and you're part of the community. You're an integral part of the community, and that's just that's so. It makes me feel so good about the community, about Jet. Shlomi keeps firing away again. Shlomi's just gonna have to join me as like as the host on Jet Live.
As an interviewer, yeah.
Here we go. Here we go, Shlomi. Here we go. Let's see. Can we do
my favorite show and dream role? Wow.
And then there's this one too.
The other one, the other favorite character I've played. So the favorite character I've played is easy. That's Princeton in Avenue Q, hands down. So much fun. For one thing, there wasn't very much choreography because my feet weren't officially part of the show at all. It was mostly hand choreography, figuring out how to do things. It's such a funny show. My favorite show in general, I don't think I could narrow it down to one. I could probably narrow it down to 4 or 5. Next to Normal, In the Heights, maybe Into the Woods. I don't know. I haven't given much thought to it. My dream role would be probably 2 or 3 of those also. I would love to be Evan Hansen at some point, although it's never going to happen. And
you never know.
Kevin Price. Well, by the time the show gets to Israel, gets to
Well,
community theater here, I'll be too old.
they did a shorter version of Dear Evan Hansen.
Right, in Hebrew, yeah.
In Hebrew, right? With I think it was
That was a professional thing, a community level thing that I'd be able to be in. By the time it gets to the community theater here, I'll be too old for that role. I could maybe do a
right. You'll be the father figure.
Yeah. I also would. It's a dream that it's never going to happen because it won't be put on in Jerusalem. But I would love to be Kevin Price in Book of Mormon. My go-to audition song is "I Believe" from the Book of Mormon.
It's a beautiful song. How many? I know you haven't. You said you haven't really seen much theater, but how many albums have you listened to? Have you counted?
Oh, wow.
Because
I haven't counted. It's easily over 20, 30.
Why don't we? In the past 2 months, how many musical theater albums have you listened to?
For the past several months, I've been more hooked on podcasts. There's a lot I've been binging, so I haven't had enough musical theater time. But when I was in West Side Story, Danny Friedman and Ileana Rosenshine gave me a very long list of musicals that I have to know and an appendix of other musicals that I should know. There's probably 40, 50 shows on the list, and I'm well more than halfway through. And one of the problems is once I come across a show that I say, "Ooh, I like this," I can't stop listening to it for months on end until I know completely by heart. So once I get into something, I can't just switch to another one to mark another one off the list.
You're worse than Richie. Richie, by the way, is watching. You're worse. He listens to the album when he gets cast in the show and listens to it months on end so he can memorize the whole thing. You just go and take the albums and just listen to them no matter what. That's awesome. That's awesome. Do you still have that list? Was it like written down somewhere and put into?
I had it. I can find it. It's somewhere on my Facebook. I could find it somewhere. Probably not right now. I can find it.
I challenge you to write up. We have a blog actually on jetcommunity.org. Okay. You don't have to write something really big, but to write up that list and be like, these are the musicals that you need to listen to, and just put it as a blog post on the page. You the list if you want. Or you can send me the list and I'll do it. But that's amazing. Are you so you listen to like almost 40 albums, almost, you're getting there. Do you still remember every single one of them, or is it like you remember them when you're
the ones that I really liked, I remember, and I could probably just do the whole thing now. But there were several that I didn't really like that much. I listened to once or twice. There was a time when I would listen to them for a week or so, and then I'd post a short, very unprofessional review and rating on Facebook. I think I stopped when Ileana Rosenshine didn't like the rating I gave Bye Bye Birdie. It was like 3 or 4 because I didn't enjoy it very much, and she took offense, so I stopped giving them ratings. Out of 10, 3 or 4 out of 10.
That's something that the community is like. Yeah, the community is like that. You know, you have to be careful about criticism and stuff because everyone's like, no, this is really amazing, and but look, so misses the post where you write reviews and scorings. One thing.
If I ever get back into them, maybe I'll continue.
Your opinion is golden. I mean, you've listened to almost all these shows and you get to know them by heart. I'm sure whatever you write, it's your review, it's your score, and
it's my review and score. But I'm not a very artistic guy, so what I write is very unprofessional, just based on what basically the synopsis that I managed to understand from listening to the music twice and reading the synopsis on Wikipedia, which is nowhere near have I actually seen the show live on stage, which could change things completely.
I still think that would be great to really understand your I don't even know what Shlomi's writing anymore. I gotta stop looking at the comments. What your reviews are is what is you, and you should own that. Like that's your. Yeah, so that would be amazing. Like you have some big fans out there who love to see what you think. And there's so many awesome awesome musicals in the past few years that have happened. I mean, have you listened to Come From Away?
Come From Away?
Yeah.
Haven't even heard of it until this moment. The list that I got.
Is it Come From Away?
Has been updated.
It hasn't been updated since. Oh, you gotta.
Even like Waitresses, even though I know that ain't that.
So you don't know Hamilton then?
Oh, of course I know Hamilton. Of course I get. It took me a while to get into it, but once I got into it, I couldn't stop for several months.
Yeah, I've been there. We did a road trip, Dina and I, and all we listened to was Hamilton for like, I don't know, 10. It was 6,000 miles road trip. I think for like 2,000 miles or 3,000 miles was Hamilton. Anyways, I definitely recommend for you to look at Come From Away. It's a really powerful piece and entertaining about during 9/11 the planes were rerouted. So one of the planes was sent to like I think Newfoundland. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right.
In Canada, province in Canada.
Yeah,
Newfoundland.
and they took them in. Like the whole community took these people in. That they landed there.
I've heard the story.
Yeah, okay, great. So it's and there's Once on This Island is a reprise, but there's such amazing musicals that are still coming out. I should send you a new list.
Me too. I can't promise I'll get to all of them, but please go ahead.
Every year, that's what's so amazing about COVID right now, about coronavirus, is that people are creating. People are. Yeah. Shlomi's getting angry at me. I don't even know why. Shlomi, let somebody else comment in the comments. We have there's something called Theater Maker Studios. Ken Davenport, he inspired me to do this whole Jet Live thing. He's doing on his Facebook page interviews with Broadway personalities and different actors and actresses and directors, producers, the gamut, which I'm trying to do a little bit here. The gamut of our theater community plus people from outside of the community that have these experiences, and people are being encouraged to really write new materials so that when theater is live again, there'll be tons of material just waiting to find stages. Will there be enough stages? I don't know, but unfortunately, we're seeing some shows closing. But we'll have a lot more material to work with. And who knows, Come From Away or even Wicked or Dear Evan Hansen might actually start giving rights out so people could do their shows live in other places.
That'd be
because
awesome.
Who knows when Broadway's going to be opening. Right now they're saying September. And some other things, whatever. Okay. But
I've actually been doing a little bit of writing, just a little bit of writing on myself when I have a bit of free time. Translating. I'm working on a translation for a Requiem from Dear Evan Hansen. But I'm trying to make this not just a translation that'll mean the same. I'm trying to translate it into Hebrew and into Jewish. So instead of just general secular terms of grief and loss, I'm putting in terms from the Orthodox or the Jewish world of Elut, mentioning Ener Neshama or Kaddish Heshlama, stuff like that. And it could be sung somehow.
And you started that now during this time period?
I started that a while ago, but I picked it up again now when I had a little more time.
That's awesome. I mean, there's so much. There's so much about that. I mean, you have Fiddler on the Roof. They translate into Yiddish, and Yiddish itself has a lot of like Jewish character, I guess, because that's what we see in it. But that would be so cool to see that, because there are some. I mean, that whole show. It's not only like, how do I want to put this? I don't want to offend anybody, but each show that is on Broadway, each show that's done, even movies and television shows, they deal with Islam, all the conflicts that are going on with religion, if there are conflicts or whatever it is, but they have the different religions. And the truth is, each religion, we all deal with very similar things. I love what Yael Valier does with theater and theology. She kind of takes like shows that were were created with like the Christian side, and then comes and discusses Jewish aspects that based on what we see in the show. And she did a few shows that had to do with Judaism also. But one show in particular that really stands out to me was Doubt, by John Patrick Shanley. It's a play, not a musical. Not yet.
I've never heard of it.
Maybe one day it'll be a musical. I don't know. Someone must have written Doubt the musical somewhere. It became a film. It was a film with Meryl Streep and I think Meryl Streep and John Patrick. No, he passed away a few years ago. He was in Mission Impossible, and he did a lot of really cool other things. He did True West, also played on a musical. I can't remember his name. Anyways, so it's basically a play that that deals with the whole aspect of a priest and his relationship with a boy that's in the school, and then the nun comes, the mother superior in the school sees what's going on, assumes something's happening, and it's John Patrick Shanley kind of like showing that there are things happening in schools that aren't necessarily kosher, and are they really happening or not, and can the nun do anything about it or not? And basically I saw two different versions of it. I saw it done at two different schools. So I kind of, one place I was like saying that the priest is innocent, and the other version I saw, I'm like, the priest is guilty, which was really cool to see. Two different interpretations of it that I saw. And I was like, this also takes place in Jewish schools in our atmosphere with like the rabbis and all that. So anyways, I think there's a lot in there. There's a lot of material that we can take from Dirham Hansen, for example, and bring it to the Jewish sphere. That's really cool. I commend you for that. Are you gonna translate the whole entire Dirham Hansen like that, or are you only working on this particular song?
Just this song at the moment. If it ever gets put on here, then maybe I will translate it for them. Just like I've done other like the past 5 shows or so the Dark Catcher has done. But it's not something that I have planned at the moment. It's just something I'm doing for fun.
Are your translations ever like, are they just put once they're done? Are they done, or are they like then like? Do you have a copyright for them? I guess is what I'm saying. Like,
the words that I wrote have automatically have copyright because I wrote them.
Right.
I don't see a process I need to go through. For most of what I've done, it's just been a simple translation, not much work put into having it fit the beat and fit the music and fit the rhyming scheme. So it's not something that can ever be used for anything else afterward. The exception is in the that I worked on for probably 7 months or so. And 95% of what I wrote can actually be sung as it is, the way I wrote it. I have a dream that one day I'll offer my translation to the Kamari or the Bima or whatever. So that's not off the table, but it's not something that I'm actively working on at the moment.
Right. That's awesome. I mean, I wonder, have you ever tried to get someone to sing the subtitles that you made for like Rent or Spring Awakening or?
No, the only person who's ever tried to sing those things is me, to myself when I'm sitting and translating. In Spring Awakening, there's only one thing that I managed to get to fit in, from the scene where they're at Moritz's funeral, the eulogy, whatever you want to call it. The chorus for that I managed to fit in, also with a bit of conversion with a bit of Jewish terms, and not just. I would sing to myself again and again and again, over and over and over. Every time I change a single word to see what fits in better.
I was on the stage in Spring Awakening, so I probably didn't see the subtitle. So I I wouldn't have even seen the Jewish reference. But Left Behind is the song you're referring to, right? The funeral, yeah. Oh, that would be so cool. Like, I would love to just see what you mean by that, like the Jewish, like the references that you kind of changed. But you didn't have to change the L'chaim in the Heights, though. Well,
I did want to change it to be something which, since in the original, they're saying in a different language, which is not what the rest of the show was in. I wanted it to be something else. I think I did end up leaving it at the time, or maybe lechayecha or something of the sort. In tiknei lanu shtayim lechaim or something of the sort. Well, one of the bigger challenges in the Heights was translating in Spanish, because the idea was not just to show what's being said, but for people to understand everything. In the Heights, as opposed to most of the shows where people there, most people in the audience know English and they can understand what's going on, they might glimpse up at the subtitles here or there for a sentence that they missed. In the Heights, since it's so fast-paced, people were looking at the subtitles a lot, and I knew they'd be looking at it. So I wanted to make everything, including the Spanish, be readable and understandable and as close as possible to the meaning of the original text, which is why it took me so long, and I put a lot of thought into it.
But it works. I mean, putting that much effort into it, now you have something that you can, again, I think that's great that you could send it to that it's something that you can send forward to like the bigger stage if they ever do in the Heights here. Shlomi, another question: how did you find yourself translating in the first place? I
guess in a way this is also thanks to my sister, the same sister who invited me to audition for Les Mis, Michal. She's been in a show or two. She's more of a professional translating. She did in the army, and she studied, at least initially, she studied Arabic and English literature at the university, so she did a lot of more professional translating. And I think she was first invited to translate Spelling Bee for ACI, and I helped her a little bit there because I was in the show, and I thought it was fun. I helped her with the next one she did. It was just Hairspray, and at some point, Eli and Eli asked me to help them with translating for Rent, which I was in, and I said, yeah, I can do this. This is fun. And then shows later on that I wasn't able to participate in because I didn't have the time, balancing 3 kids and a full-time job and trying to finish my master's degree. So the least that I could do was help them with the translation. And been doing that for the past 5 shows. And that's the job I found until next time that I get into a show.
But if you did get cast, Starcatcher, you should cast David again, because he is awesome, and I mean, he's a community player. Like I don't know if that, he's a community team player, as he said earlier. So, but like, would you be able to balance the two? I mean, it's
probably not, because the whole rehearsal process takes up a lot of my free time. So I probably wouldn't have the free time to put into the translating also.
Right.
Unless it's which the translation already exists, like translation for a movie that has to be add a bit here or there, change things. That I might be able to do. Like in Rent, that was what we had. We had the subtitles for the movie. We said to add a few bits here or there, take some things off, so that I was able to do while I was in the show itself. But the whole thing from scratch, probably not.
Right. Well, you never know. You never know.
Yeah, okay.
We'll see when it comes up, and we definitely hope that you're cast in shows. Would you ever be interested in doing a play? You've done musicals. Have you been interested in like going into plays at all?
I've never done a non-musical play. I don't think that I would be interested in it. What appeals to me about musical theater specifically, I can't act. I can barely pretend to dance, and I can kind of sing. But the singing is the main thing that I can do. People who've directed shows that I've been in know that the acting is really not my strong point, and the dancing is the challenge that I enjoy the most, because it's the hardest part for me. And he'll be able to tell you how hard it is to train me to do things. But as far from my perspective, that's the part that I enjoy the most in the whole process.
I'm not a dancer so much, so I totally understand the challenge of that. But you've had some great roles. I mean, you were Seymour. That's acting. That's
yeah. I can act when I don't have to act. When it's my typecast, because I am, the meek, somewhat lovable and very geeky guy. So that would be, Seymour or Leaf in Spelling Bee or Princeton.
Right. Yeah. But Princeton was the puppet.
Yeah.
And you.
There's less acting in general, but there's actually more than you would think, because since the puppet can't make any facial expressions, my face still has to do the proper acting because the audience, without even knowing it, they see me and the puppet, and they kind of imprint what they see from my face onto the puppet, assuming, and they put them together. They say that, okay, if I'm smiling or I'm frowning, that means that the puppet is smiling or frowning.
Yeah,
And
I know
I have to do it.
It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool, and you've done amazing work, and you're still doing amazing work, and you have amazing work to do at home too. How many kids now do you have? You have
Three.
Three, yeah.
One 8-year-old, 6-year-old, and a 2-year-old.
Right. 8-year-old and what? I missed the middle.
8, 6, and 2.
6. Okay, 8, 6, and 2. Right. 2 years old. I remember 2 years old. Whatever it was, that was close to a show. No, one of the kids were born around the showtime of some show.
My oldest, Noam, was born during the rehearsal for West Side.
Right. Okay. There.
And my middle one, Shihala, was born shortly after Chorus Line, and the youngest was born after I finished the last show that I was in. So no connection.
Well, they all seem to be connected to some show. You know, you could be like, after the last show I was in, West Side Story, Chorus Line. Are any of them picking up dance moves, acting, singing?
My daughter, before the COVID-19, she was in a hoop for modern dance or jazz dance, for 5 and 6-year-olds. But she enjoys that a lot. She also sings a lot. My oldest at the moment, unfortunately, doesn't show any signs of being able to sing on key. I hope that tone deafness will pass, but who knows?
You never know. You never know. And sometimes we need those kinds of singers too. And there's plenty of. But are they? What's their most favorite album? Like, if do you play the albums on your own, or do you listen with them sometimes?
There's some that I do play out loud or in the car. They've never heard Avenue Q or Book of Mormon for educational reasons. They know enough that at some point, I think it was Noah, my oldest, heard Waving Through a Window from Dear Evan Hansen enough times to recognize that when I was singing, I think he was in the bath and I was singing Words Failed from the end of the album, where it has a paraphrase of something from Waving Through the Window. It's similar words, but not the same. Like, in Waving Through the Window, it has the lyric of step out of the sun, and in the song towards the end is, how do I step into the sun? And he corrected me when I said step into the sun. He said, no, but I'd step out of the sun. So something caught on.
Great. No, it's
on the first track of Hamilton.
Right. Well, that's just the thing. Have you seen SGN, the John Krasinski? Have you seen it? So that first one, he just ended, unfortunately. I mean, they're starting to now be able to they showed some a father being able to hug his daughter. So, and there are people starting to hug. So, they're taking a break now. He said he's taking a break. It was amazing 8 weeks of all these episodes, which he's also an inspiration for this. But they're taking a break.
By the design.
Exactly, the sign. Yeah, and we made it a little easier to see. So he's he got all the different SGN people to come on with like their. It's just amazing what he's done. But he's on break now, and he does that Hamilton thing. It was just like boom.
Yeah, I saw.
Wow.
That's awesome.
So this has been awesome. I'm so excited that you joined me tonight. And I love hearing about the translation because I can't do it. And that's I would love to see the Spring Awakening piece, just to understand what you're talking about, the Jewish aspect, and write that. I should send you a new list, and you should share that old list.
I'll look and send it on to you.
Awesome. So I will send you a new list. Remind me if I do not. I need to do that along with everything else. But I just wanted to thank you again. This has been great on Jet Live. We actually have next week we're having a Next Normal reunion on Sunday. So I hope you can tune in for that one. And tomorrow we've got Barack Bard, and on Thursday we've got J-Town. We've got Jen Fleischer and Eliza Shockman Land, who Eliza, you were with her in Avenue Q. So we're going to be doing all of that for the next week. And David, you were in Chorus Line, right?
I was.
You were. So Yael Silver, I just had a conversation with her, and she's going to be joining us on Jet Live right after Shavuot, that Sunday. So I'm looking forward to speaking with her because I actually wasn't here. I think we kind of passed each other. I went to the States, she was in shows, then I came back to Israel and she went to the States. So I'm looking forward to that, but I hope that you tune in for that too. And we've got some other cool guests joining us. And thank you so much again, David. This was great. And we're going to go now. Thanks everyone for joining us on Jet Live. Bye-bye. See you next time tomorrow.